Recently, I did a video on who is Jesus. Now this, my friend, is my follow-up. I'm ðimokratía, and this is religious reasoning. Now, after doing my last video, I had an interesting conversation with a group of Jehovah's Witnesses. Not only did they refuse to come on camera, right? They're saying the information that they want to give me is just for me. Now, you know me, I believe that information is for everyone, and that is why I challenge any Jehovah's Witness who's willing to come on camera to come and speak to me about some religious issues that myself and others have with your denomination. But let's get back to the matter at hand. They tried to convince me that Jesus was just as valid as Yeshua. And they showed me the example. They showed me many examples. Okay, let's first talk about transliteration. Transliteration does not mean that we find a name, like for example Roberto and Robert. We don't just go from language A and then find the equivalent name in language B. What is done with the names in the Bible is a process called transliteration. Now, trans, as you know, means movement. There are some movements. Let's transliterate some words for you. Let's say the Spanish SI, which means yes. If we pronounce that word in Spanish, we say sí. But if we were to transliterate that word to English, we would get SI, which we would pronounce I. This is because although Spanish and English are using nearly identical character sets, the way each language pronounces their words, their letters, differs. So we cannot transliterate a word from another language to ours. Or can we? We have a lot of English speakers have become fond of a Mexican food called TARTILLAS. A lot of uneducated English speakers say tortillas. Tortillas. Is that how the word is pronounced? Guess what? No. Although one could say that's a transliteration, because transliteration means using the closest symbol from one language, from the source language. No, the closest symbol from the destination language that matches the one at the source language. For letters that there is no similar one, we drop them. In other words, it doesn't matter about the sound of the letter once it looks like the one that it replaced. Now, she pointed out to me that Peter was also called Simon, And Paul was also called Saul. Missy, just listen to me, just for one brief moment. That doesn't mean that Yeshua should be called Jesus. I tell you why. The thing that you are leaving out, a big thing that you are leaving out, is culture. We cannot just read text, as I've said on many occasions, maybe not on this program, but throughout my life. You cannot, for example, I give you an example. I think I've probably given this example before. The word nice used to mean foolish. And the word gay used to mean joyful. So, or cheerful. So, while now, if we say that guy is nice and gay, a person might think that you're saying, a person will assume that you mean that the person is giving, kind, right? And he's also homosexual. But in about the 50s are there, gay men cheerful. So it would be a full compliment. But let's go back a little further. I think about the 18th century. At that point, the word nice meant foolish. So you would be saying the person is foolish and cheerful. Now, back to culture. You seem to forget that these Hebrews were living under Pharaoh's rule. So if Pharaoh said, okay, you can have your Hebrew name, that's fine with us, but you have to have a Greek name or a Roman name, then there's nothing that these people can do. They have to subject themselves to this power that they're under. And this is the same reason why Christ came to earth, to free them. But they were expecting a military assault, and Christ went another way. But so that's what I'm trying to tell you. And looking back at the tortillas, although people pronounce it tortillas, they have been always corrected, and we know the correct pronunciation is tortillas. Look at the word resume. Why aren't we saying resume? It looks like resume. We borrowed the word, but we kept its original pronunciation. And while tortillas is the name of something, resume is not. And that's what I'm saying. Jesus should get, the word Yeshua should get the same treatment as any other word. It should not be transliterated. It should not be translated, because you cannot translate a person's name. You can't translate Yeshua. You can't translate Yahweh. These names are very important to Christian worship, and I think they should get it right. I'm Dick Lee. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if I was being a dick. Not my fault. My mother named me that. And as always, remember to subscribe.